Occasionally I'm asked how to create a design like this, sort of like dots, fill in type, or loads of different things I'm asked. And sometimes I think I have no idea. So I have to experiment. And I'm certain there's many other ways of doing this. And I'm certain people will hopefully put some comments. Put some comments. You've got a better solution. Please put some comments so people can work out how to use it using that approach. But this is one way, I think. Brushes. Because you've got a problem with type. Now this is, so you've got the dots here that follows, but there's no lines. You've got obviously the fill for the character and you've got the stroke, etc. around the type, but it's not made up of a line, a single line, thin line that you can like fill using, say, like the edit menu and fill place along path. So I'm just going to remove that one now, that layer. And I always like to work from layers. So yes, remove that. And you can see this is type. Just a standard type layer created using type here. Just create word type. So always start with, I think, layer and new layer, because you can always remove it. If you don't like something goes wrong. Now I'm using brushes. So I'm just going to go to the basic brush there. Brush settings. So window and brush settings. And shape dynamics, don't want that. Brush tip, shape. I'm just going to go for a very basic shape, circle. But it could be any shape, it could be a square, any other design. Modify the size, you can see the type. You can just hover over without creating anything, just so it fits in there. So I'm going 20. Change the spacing, you can see the space in there. You can make it close or a bit further apart. It does a little bit trial and error. And also I've got color dynamics. So apply tip, so it's going to be using these blues, foreground, background jitter, or hue jitter. So you've got a bit of color variation. And then go over here. Now hold the shift down. And I'm using it on this layer. You can always do it again, so I'll just quickly do it again. And this is not going to be 100% accurate, requires a little bit of tweaking. And obviously, now just under there, let's get back there because I've got a straight line there. So shift again, then down, like that. So you've got that, that's the initial T. And some letters are easier than others, maybe like an O or something, you might find it. And also it depends on the start position. So you might like do there, or you do that way. Sometimes it works better just to do this along the path first. So just go down. And if you go wrong, your arm maybe it's better to use a pen. There's that design there. Down again. Now there's no guides or anything. It'd be lovely if there was a guide feature. You draw along the guide. Now that would be useful. So you could actually draw out a guide that you could then work on and draw along. Some applications do have that, where you can just draw a lot angle and then draw that. That would be useful. Clip Studio Paint comes to mind. And then you can go over here again. You can hold the shift. Don't want that. That's why sometimes just best just to start fresh. Go down, holding the shift down, and you've got your design there. And you can always add another dot if it's there. Or you just undo. It's always just as easy just to undo and just do it again. Because sometimes it just suddenly stops. Suddenly you go over it and think, it's not drawing it. It's not drawing that dot. So, and again, I always go back to the move tool. I know it's odd, but I just like to refresh it after using the shift, because otherwise it just draws across. And then just manually draw across there. And of course, you don't have to draw in that position. You could always start a bit further. You might think, oh, that bit, I can't do it. I can't. There's no point in putting anything there. Or you could resize it. Just go to the shape dynamics, reduce the brush tip, and just change the size. Make it 18, a bit smaller for those little pinch points. Because sometimes it looks a bit odd when you do that first there. I say this is not an elegant solution, and of course you might get to the others just going around here, and suddenly you think, oh, you know what, that gap is slightly different from that. The lengths are different, so it's impossible to be exact for this. Again, I always like to go there and then go back to the brush tool and start again, and I'm just going to go hold the shift down. And then go around there. Obviously you can't hold the shift for the rest. And again, if you make a mistake, you can always undo. Oh, just made a slight mistake there. Well, it dipped down a bit too low. I'm not going to go. But anyway, there you've got the general idea. You can do it slower and make certain that you accurately put it. And of course, you can always then go and create them again. You can also, like say, duplicate that design or maybe combine it. So you can go to layer. Now I've got that locked now, so lock that. And have those two. And then go to layer. And you can then go to maybe merge layers. So they can be merged. Or maybe smart objects, convert to smart object. So it all becomes one smart object, like that. Or you can, so you can remove it and you can see type like that. Or you can bring it back again and then go back to that layer. And of course what you can do, you can go to layer, layer style, bevel and emboss, and you can add some dots like that. Drop shadow, go down there and move that around. Click OK. Maybe go to filter, filter gallery, liquify, tweak it, distort it. And of course you can drag those out and do up to you. That's it. And also, of course, like I say, you can combine it and then you go layer and smart objects, and you can always add transformations. So window transform, scale, rotate. So you can rotate it. See the design then, of course, rotates. And also you can go edit and, of course, distort or warp. I just go for distort. And you've got your dotted characters there. So not the world's most shattering solution to this, but however, I think that is one solution. It does create certainly a dotted character, and hope you found this tutorial of interest. Please subscribe to the Graphicxtras channel, always adding new tutorials about Photoshop, Illustrator, Painter, and many other applications. Also, please add some comments, like I said. If you've got a better solution, please add that in the comments. Also, what things I did right, what I did wrong, maybe things like settings that I could have done better that make it even better to work with. Always possible. A dislike or like. Thank you much. Be great. Bye.